radical idea. Imagine doubling the federal minimum wage.
I can't do this! No way!
Rich kids, they deserve to get a free education. That is what democracy is.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. I have good news for you and I have bad news for you, but predictable news as well. The good news is that the House has voted overwhelmingly to condemn Charlie Kirk's assassination, honor his legacy, and denounce all political violence. This is obviously something that any rational and moral person with a soul would do. 58 Democrats voted against it, and well, that's just the people who are possessed, and there's no political solution for this. You need an exorcist. That's what you need is a holy man with holy water, and you need an exorcism for something like that. A contingency of radical Democrats decided that they were going to vote against disavowing political violence, and the leader of that contingency is AOC. And AOC announced this morning that she has now decided she will be a senator and run for Senate in 2028 here. Ocasio-Cortez and her team are positioning her to run for the U.S. Senate. Of course, this would be against Chuck Schumer. That's a wild move. He's obviously the leader of the Senate for the Democrats. He's up for re-election in 2028. Senate race between Schumer and AOC would be a generational clash, pitting the Democrat Party against the traditionalist, the insurgent progressive. So what does the insurgent progressive say about, well, let's see, another very young, dynamic voice in America, Charlie Kirk. AOC took to the floor with the Charlie Kirk honorarium vote to disavow violence and did a hold my beer skit with Jimmy Kimmel and decided to use this as an opportunity to desecrate Charlie from beyond the grave. It is a seemingly remarkable moment when AOC has decided to not condemn the evil left-wing Trantifa violence that took Charlie Kirk from us, but instead to condemn Charlie Kirk and lie on his name, which is what she said. Let's go ahead and listen, ladies and gentlemen, to some of the lies that AOC tells about Charlie, and then I will fact check them for you, and you will see how obscene they are. I'm not sure if Erica Kirk can sue members of Congress, but this would be a pretty nice defamation case for you if there ever was one. We should be clear about who Charlie Kirk was, as a man who believed that the Civil Rights Act that granted Black Americans the right to vote was a mistake. First off, that's not true. The Civil Rights Act didn't grant anyone the right to vote. Those are totally different amendments. Moron. Who, after the violent attacks on Paul Pelosi, claimed that some amazing patriot out there should bail out his assailant and accused Jews of controlling not just the colleges, but the nonprofits, the movies, it's Hollywood, all of it. His rhetoric and beliefs are ignorant and sought to disenfranchise millions of Americans, far from the working tirelessly to promote unity, as is assessed with majority resolution. We can condemn the horrific assassination and the scourge of political violence without uplifting these ideas, says AOC. Okay. So let's go ahead and read the community notes here about AOC's assertions. Kirk believed that the spirit of the Civil Rights Act, he believed in the spirit of the Civil Rights Act, but criticized it that it became overly broad and corrupt, which it absolutely did. The Civil Rights Act does not protect the right to vote, you moron. You're in Congress. This is the same AOC that doesn't know the three branches of government, by the way. The right is guaranteed in the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. The Voting Rights Act is a different piece of legislation passed in the same era. It removes the obstacles to voting, not the Civil Rights Act. He also proposed somebody bail out Pelosi's attacker to do an interview with him. This is because they were saying that Paul Pelosi's attacker was like a far-right MAGA guy. This is not true. Paul Pelosi was attacked by the political left. That's an absolute matter of fact. The guy was living in a van with the BLM. He was a Greenpeace Democrat living in a van that had BLM signage on it. He was an environmentalist. According to his own kids, he was very far left. He said that Jews were the ones, were one of the largest donors to causes that hate them. Well, there you go. I mean, this is something that obviously Steve Bannon has said before. This is something that President Trump has talked about as well. President Trump has plenty of Jewish donors. We can't have this conversation? It's like this coming from AOC, who openly supports Hamas, who like is in a squad with a woman who said she had a calming feeling on 9/11, Rashida Tlaib. She's in the squad with Ilhan Omar, who said, Ilhan Omar said some people did something on September 11th. Ilhan Omar, who's like the single greatest apologist for literal terrorism, left-wing and Islamic, in Congress. AOC's in a squad with those women, and she's going to attack Charlie Kirk over his history with Jews? Really? Really? It's a bold strategy. Cotton, let's see how it plays out.
His rhetoric and beliefs were ignorant, uneducated, and sought to disenfranchise millions of Americans. Far from the working tirelessly to promote unity, unquote, asserted by the majority in this resolution.
Okay.
The majority proceeded with a resolution that brings great pain to the millions of Americans who endure.
What about the pain that Charlie suffered? What about the pain that Charlie's wife is suffering? What about that pain? These people are, truly, you cannot unite with this ideology. You can't. I've said it. You can't unite with this ideology. You can't unite with people that lie. You can't unite over lie, and you can't unite with people that want you dead.
Endured segregation, Jim Crow, and the legacy of bigotry today.
She's talking about great pain. Everybody saw the video. You're telling me that it's people getting their feelings hurt by Charlie spitting facts that has caused them great pain, and your side caused no pain to Charlie Kirk. Really?
We should be clear about who Charlie Kirk was. A man who believed that the Civil Rights Act that granted Black Americans the right to vote was a mistake.
Not true.
Who, after the violent attack on Paul Pelosi, claimed that, quote, some amazing patriot, unquote, should bail out his brutal assailant. And accused Jews of controlling, quote, not just the colleges, it's the nonprofits, it's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it, unquote. His rhetoric and beliefs were ignorant, uneducated, and sought to disenfranchise millions of Americans. Far from the working tirelessly to promote unity.
Okay, I've had enough. It's like completely and totally sick. AOC is trashing Charlie Kirk right now from the House floor. She is lying about him and again repeating the same vile garbage. At the same time, claiming to pray for his family and denouncing his assassination. There is no way forward with these people, says MTG. AOC just ridiculed Charlie Kirk. By the way, this is so true. There is no way forward with these people. That is exactly true. AOC ridiculed Charlie Kirk. The great pain that he has caused. It's going to make your blood boil. Absolute and total disgrace. He hasn't even been buried yet. Absolutely disgusting and evil. What did you expect? This is the Democrat Party. That's exactly right. What did you expect? 57 Democrats voted against honoring Charlie Kirk and disavowing political violence. There is no moral bottom for these sick and depraved communists. They must be expelled from DC. These people are absolutely vile. AOC says the resolution that calls on Americans to reject violence somehow brings great pain to people who survived Jim Crow. What a despicable person. Lie upon lie upon lie. She's totally repulsive. One of the most ignorant members of Congress, AOC. We should be clear who Charlie Kirk was. Great pain. Just a horrible person. AOC once claimed that unemployment is low during Trump's first term because people were working 2 jobs. Everything she said here is a vicious lie designed to slander a great man and put a target on the back of those who support him. Shame on you, AOC. Well, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. We sent them the peaceful Charlie Kirk, and they killed him. So what does that mean? I'll let you decide in the comment section. But there is a major problem with left-wing dehumanization and left-wing violence. I want the country to unite. I don't want there to be violence. I disavow all violence. But to continue to allow for lies like this to be told about Charlie Kirk is going to inspire more. And that's just a matter of fact. That's why we fought so hard against Jimmy Kimmel. That's why we fought so hard to honor Charlie's legacy of non-violence and debate. And that's how you bring peace. That's how you release the pressure release valve. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, subscribe. We're going to keep fighting.